Hey, my name is Joel McDonald, and I'd like to tell you a story about two entrepreneurs named Mark and Tim. Mark and Tim had extremely successful jobs in the same national organization. Other than the fact that one of them ran the East Coast Division and the other ran the West Coast Division, everything about their lives before October of 2008 was virtually identical. They each had similar job titles, corner offices, their own personal assistant, and healthy salaries with full benefits. Unfortunately, the crash of October 2008 all but shut their company down, and both Mark and Tim lost their jobs. Although they got to keep their company stock, it had evaporated from pretty much large enough to fund a luxurious retirement to barely enough for a 2-month severance package. Each of them were married with 2 children, had no college savings to speak of, had lost their retirement, and both were left with no choice other than to let their homes go into foreclosure. After being on dozens of job interviews with no success, both of them took their knowledge and experience and entered the entrepreneurial world. Without even knowing each other, they ended up entering the same market and drove the majority of their sales through their websites. There was one difference though. Although both men had almost identical backgrounds and had similar websites with similar products, there was one big difference in each of their lifestyles. Mark jumped into his market targeting free traffic through the search engines. It was great. He didn't have to spend anything on advertising at all. But the keywords he was targeting were so competitive that he was working 60 to 80 hours a week just to make sure his competitors didn't cause his rankings to drop. Sure, he had his own business and it was all free traffic, but because he never actually learned about what his customers were actually looking for, fighting to keep those top rankings was like being in a never-ending hamster wheel, and it was taking a serious toll on his relationship with his wife and kids. Tim, on the other hand, started with nothing but AdWords. However, instead of trying to get all the traffic he could, he bought only inexpensive, accurate keywords. After finding out exactly how to find the most valuable visitors, Tim was earning 3 times as much per visitor as Mark. Why? Because he used AdWords like it's supposed to be used. Tim then took the knowledge he gained from his inexpensive AdWords traffic and leveraged it into other marketing channels his competitors couldn't even afford. It was as if he could read his customers' minds. He knew exactly which advertising mediums would bring the best revenue. In addition to having a business that ran without him burning the midnight oil, he was able to take 4 to 6 vacations with his family per year. Because he was only working 25 to 30 hours per week, he was spending a lot more time with his wife and kids, and his relationship with them had never been happier. So what made that difference? Have you ever wondered why people like Mark are destined to work like dogs no matter how successful their business becomes, and people like Tim seem to have everything they touch turn into gold? It's not a matter of having natural born intelligence, talent, or dedication. It's not even desire. The difference lies in what Tim knows about his ideal customers and what he does with that knowledge. And that's why you, as a business owner, should consider or even reconsider using AdWords. For AdWords is so much more than just a source of traffic. AdWords is a powerful research tool that can give insights into your ideal customer's soul. Those insights can lead to happier customers who not only seem to fall in your lap, but are happy to shout your praises from the highest mountaintops. You see, AdWords is a unique marketing tool. In fact, it's the only tool in existence that can give you market insights virtually overnight. For as little as a few dollars, you can learn more about what your customers actually want than any other advertising medium in existence. Every day, millions of potential customers are searching for a solution to a problem your company can solve. AdWords is the only tool in existence that will allow you to be in front of those customers as soon as 5 minutes from right now. Not only that, but every time a potential customer visits your website, they are telling you in real time how to change your marketing plan to better fit their needs. They even tell you exactly where else you should be advertising and what to say in those other marketing channels. Knowledge is power. For example, right now, if you were looking at a properly set up AdWords account, you would be able to tell at a glance what 5 or 10 other marketing channels you could be advertising on. You would know with statistical certainty which marketing channels you should be advertising your 7 Secrets report and which marketing channels you should be offering a free consultation for. There is a difference. If you have an e-commerce site, you'd easily know whether a $50 off coupon, a 10% discount, or no discount at all generates more revenue. At a glance, you'd be able to tell which keywords are driving the most profits with the least amount of effort, and which keywords you could let your competitors fight over because they're not worth the effort. Whether your website visitors opt in or not, you'd be able to gain insights about what newspapers, blogs, and magazines your potential customers are reading and which ones are worth advertising on. If you've never used AdWords, you can't begin to imagine how useful it can be for you. It can mean the difference between building a thriving, diversified business like Tim's and having a business that depends on you working endlessly in a hamster wheel like Mark. Here's what we want you to do. Put our statements to the test by entering your name and email address on this page. We'll send you several videos that will show you exactly how you can use AdWords to gain new customers with ease. We'll also send you a checklist that will help eliminate the reasons 90% of people fail at AdWords. You can apply what you learn immediately and start improving your business as early as next week. Those improvements will not only help with your business's bottom line, they will help you build a more profitable and diversified income stream that will give you more freedom in life. It's time to ask yourself a question. Is your company like Mark's, where you're practically running nonstop and the only way to become more profitable is to somehow run faster? Or is it an efficient machine like Tim's that runs whether you're there or not, at home, work, or in Bermuda on vacation with the family? If you'd like to have the freedom that having a business like Tim's has, then you'll want to find out without delay if AdWords can do for you what it is already doing for hundreds of thousands of businesses, both online as well as offline. So go ahead and enter your name and email address in the box at the top of Newbie PPC, and you'll immediately get access to free videos and other resources that you can put into action immediately. So about Mark and Tim, who built their businesses with the exact same backgrounds and exact same knowledge, what made their lives in business different? Not just knowledge, but useful knowledge. And more importantly, the application of that knowledge. Now, we can't promise that the success will be instantly yours if you start using AdWords, but what we can promise is that you will find out things about your customers and your website visitors that you could never have found out otherwise. Those priceless insights will allow you to build a thriving business that runs on autopilot and will allow for not just a healthy income, but a lifestyle you never could have achieved otherwise. On behalf of Howie and myself, we'll see you on the other side.